something has changed at Heartland. It's not just the wind that carries the scent of horses or the rustle of leaves in the paddock. It's the feeling that a new chapter is beginning. Amy Fleming, once the bright-eyed girl learning to heel horses, now finds herself guiding her own daughter into a world filled with challenges, choices, and powerful emotional bonds. And Lyndy, no longer the little girl watching from the fence, is finally stepping into the saddle, bringing with her a spark that could change everything. But in the quiet strength of this mother-daughter bond, secrets are hiding, and not every path ahead is smooth. What's waiting for them on this journey? Let's take a deeper look at the twists, turns, and revelations that Season 19 promises to deliver. As Season 19 opens, a sense of calm hangs over Heartland Ranch, but it's the kind of calm that only exists before a storm. Life seems steady on the surface. Horses are being trained, routines are followed, and the ranch continues to hum with quiet determination. But underneath, subtle shifts are starting to reshape the future, especially for Amy and Lyndy. Lyndy is growing fast, and her natural connection to horses is no longer just a cute reflection of her mother. It's real, deep, innate. Amy watches her daughter with quiet pride, but also with a touch of worry. She knows too well how this path, while beautiful, can also bring heartbreak. Still, there's no stopping it. The way Lyndy approaches Spartan, or how she calms a skittish colt with just a whisper and a touch, it's like watching a mirror from years ago. Only this time, Amy is the mentor. This season doesn't just focus on their bond, it begins to test it. Amy wants to protect Lyndy from the emotional weight that comes with being the miracle girl of Heartland, but Lyndy is her own person. Bold, curious, and sometimes reckless, she starts pushing boundaries. One morning ride turns into a moment Amy won't forget. When Lyndy makes a choice that puts her at risk, but also proves she's ready for more responsibility, that incident changes everything. Amy realizes that shielding her daughter isn't the answer. She has to trust her. Meanwhile, Heartland Ranch isn't the same without Ty. His absence still lingers in every room, every shadow. And although Amy has made peace with her grief, Lyndy is beginning to ask more questions. She wants to know who her father truly was, not just through stories, but through experience. So, Amy begins to share more, including the hard truths. These conversations are emotional, often painful, but they bring the two closer. And as they explore Ty's legacy together, they uncover more than memories. They find pieces of themselves. But the world outside the ranch isn't standing still. Lyndy is becoming popular at school, and not everyone understands her quiet strength or her bond with animals. When she's mocked for choosing horses over social trends, Amy steps in, but Lyndy handles it with unexpected maturity. This subplot gives us a glimpse into how this young girl is growing not just as a rider, but as a person who knows her worth. Adding to the complexity, a new horse arrives at the ranch, wild, scarred, and untrusting. While Amy struggles to break through its emotional walls, Lyndy finds an immediate connection. It's a reminder that the next generation may be even more gifted. But what does that mean for Amy? Is it time to take a step back and let her daughter shine? Or does her own journey still have chapters left to unfold? This opening part of the season is all about transition. Amy is learning how to be both a mother and a teacher. Lyndy is stepping into her power, and Heartland itself is preparing for something bigger, something that could redefine what the ranch stands for. As the days unfold, the sense of calm gives way to new tests, and the Fleming legacy begins to evolve. Just as Amy and Lyndy begin to settle into their evolving bond, the past starts to stir, uninvited and unresolved. One afternoon, while going through old boxes in the loft, Amy stumbles upon a weathered journal. It belonged to Ty. Inside are sketches, notes about horses, and personal reflections he never shared. Reading his words brings a fresh wave of emotion, his dreams, his fears, and even thoughts he had about fatherhood. Amy is shaken, not just by the intimacy of his writing, but by the way it mirrors what Lyndy is now experiencing. The journal becomes a bridge, connecting father to daughter, past to present. Amy decides to show it to Lyndy. The moment is quiet, heavy, and full of meaning. Lyndy, clutching the journal in her small hands, reads a passage that changes her. She sees her father not just as a figure in stories, but as someone real, flawed, brave, and deeply loving. This deepens her desire to follow in his footsteps, to live a life full of purpose and courage. But it also raises a question: can she live up to the legacy of two remarkable parents? While this emotional thread runs deep, another unexpected twist begins to form. Rumors start circulating in Hudson that a land development project is threatening the natural riding trails near Heartland. Amy, Lou, and Jack attend a town meeting, only to find that some old allies have switched sides, tempted by promises of profit and progress. The community is divided. The Heartland family faces a decision: fight for the land that has shaped generations, or find a way to adapt and compromise. Lou, as mayor, is caught in the middle. Her political position demands diplomacy, but her heart lies with her family. Tension brews between her and Amy, especially when a difficult vote comes to the town council. Amy wants Lou to choose family. Lou wants Amy to understand the bigger picture. Their disagreement is subtle but sharp, a reminder that even strong bonds can bend under pressure. Meanwhile, Lyndy continues to train with the new horse, whom she's named Echo. The bond between them grows stronger by the day. But Echo has a past, one that's not fully understood. When Echo suddenly panics during a routine session, throwing Lyndy to the ground, everyone is forced to reconsider. Amy blames herself. Jack reminds her that some horses, like some people, need time to heal. But Lyndy, bruised but not broken, insists on trying again. Her resilience surprises everyone, even Amy. In the background, Georgie returns from a riding competition abroad. Her presence brings joy, but also complexity. She's older, more independent, and carrying secrets of her own. A missed opportunity, a failed audition, and now uncertainty about where she truly belongs. She sees Lyndy growing into the role she once held at Heartland, and although proud, she feels displaced. This creates a quiet tension between the girls, sisters in spirit, but now on different paths. As this second act unfolds, whispers of Ty's presence grow louder. Strange moments, a photo falling from a shelf, a horse reacting to something unseen, begin to unsettle Amy. She doesn't believe in signs, but she also knows grief has its own language. Could it be her mind playing tricks, or is the past trying to tell her something? One night, Lyndy dreams of Ty. She doesn't say much about it, only that he smiled and told me I'm ready. Amy doesn't press, but the weight of those words lingers. This section of the story explores emotional duality, grief and growth, conflict and connection, memory and movement. Heartland is no longer just a place of healing. It's becoming a place of transformation. And as Amy, Lyndy, and the others navigate the tension between holding on and letting go, the future begins to reveal itself. Not all at once, but in small, powerful moments that carry the promise of what's to come. As autumn deepens over the rolling fields of Heartland, the air begins to feel heavier, not just with the chill of the season, but with decisions waiting to be made. The calm that once gave Amy and Lyndy space to breathe now feels like a pause before everything unravels. Tension has been quietly building, between family, within the community, and most of all, inside Amy herself. The weight of being a mother, a healer, and a protector of Heartland's legacy is beginning to take its toll. The land development issue, once just talk in town meetings, becomes a tangible threat. Construction markers appear along the trails. Heavy machinery looms near the edges of the property. Horses become restless. The natural rhythm of the ranch is disturbed. Amy and Jack try to rally the community, but many neighbors are backing away, some afraid of conflict, others tempted by buyouts. Amy realizes this isn't just about saving land. It's about protecting a way of life that's slipping through their fingers. Lou finds herself cornered. Political pressure from investors, combined with the fear of losing her seat as mayor, pushes her into a difficult decision. When she abstains from a crucial vote that could have blocked the development, Amy is furious. Their argument isn't loud, but it cuts deep. Amy accuses Lou of abandoning the ranch. Lou, with tears in her eyes, asks Amy if she even understands how hard it is to carry the burden of leadership while constantly trying to live up to the family name. Both women walk away feeling misunderstood and wounded. Back at the ranch, Lyndy is facing a trial of her own. Echo, the horse she bonded with, escapes from his stall one stormy night. Tracks lead into the woods beyond Heartland's borders, into a section of land now under dispute. Amy wants to go after him, but Lyndy insists on coming too. Jack tries to stop them, but Amy knows this is something her daughter needs to face. Together, they ride into the forest, rain pelting down, hearts pounding. What happens next is more than a search for a missing horse. It's a revelation. Deep in the woods, they find Echo, cornered by a fallen tree, panicked and injured. Lyndy approaches him first, whispering, calming him, ignoring the fear in her own eyes. Amy watches as her daughter gently leads the horse out of danger. In that moment, Amy sees herself, not just as she is, but as she was. Brave, uncertain, but full of something unteachable. It's more than a mother's pride, it's a turning point. They return home soaked, muddy, but stronger than ever. And with them, Echo. The horse that once resisted everyone has now found trust in a child. Lyndy's bond with Echo becomes symbolic of the future of Heartland. Wounded, maybe, but still standing, still healing. But their journey hasn't gone unnoticed. Photos of the mother-daughter rescue spread online, drawing attention to the importance of the land they nearly lost. The public, inspired by their bravery, begins to speak up. A petition gains momentum. Journalists visit the ranch, and for the first time in weeks, Amy sees a flicker of hope. Meanwhile, Georgie struggles with her next step. She confides in Tim, revealing that she's been offered a chance to train in Europe again, but this time she's afraid. Afraid to leave, afraid to stay. Tim, carrying his own regrets, encourages her to choose what makes her heart race. Fear, he tells her, means it's real. Georgie's storyline doesn't resolve yet, but her uncertainty adds emotional depth to the larger story. One of growing up, letting go, and believing in second chances. Back in the loft, Amy takes out Ty's journal again. This time, she writes in it. A letter to Ty. She talks about Lyndy, about the land, about the fight they're in. She writes not for closure, but for connection. And as she finishes, Lyndy walks in quietly and slips a drawing into the journal, a sketch of Echo standing tall. Without words, they understand each other. This part of the season is about choices, difficult, emotional, life-altering choices. The choice to stand for what matters, the choice to forgive, the choice to trust the next generation, even when it scares you. And as Heartland prepares for what comes next, the characters we've grown with begin to face the truth. Sometimes healing isn't quiet. Sometimes it's a storm. But it's in that storm that real strength is revealed. The dust finally begins to settle over Heartland, but not because the conflict is over, because the people have chosen to rise above it. After weeks of fighting, doubting, and fearing the worst, a surprising announcement arrives from the developers. The trail expansion project has been paused indefinitely. The wave of public support, fueled by Amy and Lyndy's rescue story and the mounting community pressure, has changed the narrative. What was once seen as just a ranch is now recognized as a symbol of tradition, resilience, and emotional healing. Heartland has spoken, and the world has listened. But victories don't come without scars. Lou returns to the ranch for a quiet conversation with Amy. There are no grand apologies, just two sisters facing each other with tired eyes and full hearts. Lou explains how she tried to protect both her position and her family, and how, in the process, she felt like she failed at both. Amy, calmer now, understands. She too has struggled to balance motherhood, memory, and responsibility. In a rare moment of stillness, they sit side by side on the porch, watching Lyndy train with Echo and silently agree to let the past go. Their bond is bruised but not broken. Meanwhile, Jack, the emotional bedrock of Heartland, takes Lyndy aside. With his quiet strength, he tells her how proud he is, not just of her talent with horses, but of her heart. "You've got a piece of your mom in you and a spark of your dad," he says, his voice thick with emotion. "But more than that, you're becoming someone all your own." It's a moment Lyndy will carry forever. At the same time, Georgie makes her decision. She chooses to leave again, not to escape Heartland, but to grow beyond it. This time, there's no fear in her goodbye. She hugs Amy tightly, tells Lyndy to keep dreaming big, and rides away with hope instead of hesitation. Her departure isn't sad. It's a reminder that Heartland is not a place to stay stuck, but a place to learn who you are before chasing what you want. Tim, who's been more reflective this season, begins a new journey of his own. Health concerns hinted at earlier are confirmed in a quiet scene at the doctor's office. Nothing terminal, but enough to shift his priorities. He decides to spend more time at the ranch, not just working, but mentoring. His bond with Lyndy strengthens, and he even begins writing down some of his life lessons, something Jack used to do for him. The generational cycle is now more visible than ever. Heartland isn't just about horses, it's about passing down courage. And then there's Amy. In the final episodes of the season, we see her not as the woman trying to carry everyone else, but as someone finally embracing her own future. She begins working with a new therapy center in town, using her horse whispering skills to help children with trauma. It's a new chapter, one that belongs to her, not her past. There's no romantic subplot forced into the story, no sudden new love interest, just Amy rediscovering joy in her own way, on her own terms. But one last surprise remains. In the season's emotional final moments, Amy walks into the barn late one night and finds Lyndy asleep in the hay next to Echo. In her hand is Ty's journal. Amy gently covers her daughter with a blanket and sits beside her. She opens the journal and finds something new, a sketch Lyndy has added. It's of Ty and Amy standing together with Lyndy in the background, older, stronger, smiling. It's not just a drawing, it's a vision. Tears fill Amy's eyes, not of grief, but of acceptance. The past will always be a part of them, but now it no longer holds them back. It lifts them up. As the screen fades to black, one message becomes clear. Heartland's story isn't about where you come from or even where you're going. It's about who you become along the way, and the people, the places, and the love that shape that journey. Season 19 doesn't just continue the legacy of Heartland, it redefines it. So, what does it all mean for the future of Heartland? Season 19 has given us more than just another chapter. It's given us closure in some places and new beginnings in others. Amy is no longer just Ty's widow. She's a leader, a mother, and a woman rebuilding her future. Lyndy is no longer just the child in the background. She's stepping into her own legacy, one hoofbeat at a time. And Heartland itself is no longer just a ranch. It's a living, breathing reminder that even after loss, life continues to grow. This season wasn't about dramatic shocks or over-the-top twists. It was about the quiet power of healing, the hard choices that shape us, and the way family holds us together even when everything feels like it's falling apart. That's what makes Heartland so different. It doesn't chase trends, it stays true to its roots. And in doing so, it continues to move audiences in the most authentic way possible. Now the big question remains. What's next? Will there be a season 20? Will Lyndy take center stage? Will Amy find new love? Or will her journey remain one of independence and strength? Could Ty's presence return in some symbolic or spiritual way again? And most importantly, will Heartland's story end soon? Or is there still more to discover? Whatever the future holds, one thing is certain. Heartland has become more than just a show. It's a comfort, a tradition, and for many, a reflection of real life. Messy, beautiful, and full of quiet miracles. If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments. What was your favorite moment from season 19? What do you hope to see next? Make sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update from the world of Heartland. Until next time, hold on to hope. Cherish the journey, and remember, some legacies are built not in loud moments, but in quiet strength. Thank you for watching.